everyone. I'm at home today, but I'm recording this assembly for tomorrow. So I'll be back in work tomorrow and hopefully I'll see some of you there. I know lots of you are at home, so I hope you have a nice time. I hope you enjoyed Mr. Knowles' assembly yesterday where he made himself bigger and smaller. I can't do that, so this is just going to be a normal assembly. This morning and in another assembly later this week, I'm going to be talking to you about two amazing people. And I read about these amazing people in a book which is called Great Women Who Worked Wonders. So today what I'm going to do is talk to you about one of the women and why I think she's so amazing, why I think you need to know about her. And then later in the week you'll hear about another one. Okay, off we go. So here she is. This is an illustration that I really like of the person we're reading about today. And her name is Junko Tabei. I wonder if any of you have heard of her. I hadn't ever heard of her until I read this book, and I think she's absolutely brilliant. I've been looking for illustrations of her, I've been reading her history, I've been talking to everyone who will listen to me about her, because she shows so many amazing skills that I'm going to talk to you about in a second. Preparing for this assembly, I was looking through our Arbot posters, and I was thinking, which Arbot is Junko most like? And I thought about it and thought about it, and eventually I thought, actually, the reason why Junko is so impressive is because she is able to be like all four of our Arbots. So in the background, in the picture, you can see them all there. I wonder if you can remember what each of them means. Talk to somebody at home about it, or if you're in school, talk as a class about each of our Arbots, please. I also think that Junko shows one of our values very strongly. I think that Junko shows curiosity because she is always exploring and she often asks questions about the world, which is something that we try and do in our school. Junko Tabei was born in Mirahu, Japan in 1939. When she was a girl, she discovered a love for mountains. Step by sometimes perilous step, this passion took Junko to some very high places and turned a daring pastime into her profession. In the 1960s, Junko joined a mountain climbing club to improve her skills. More and more Japanese women were enjoying mountaineering in their spare time. But some people disapproved of this because they didn't think it was what a respectable woman should do. Rumours even spread that Junko only climbed because it was a way to find a husband. These rumours didn't stop Junko. She was fit, strong, and able to keep up with the male climbers. She was determined to trek harder. Junko formed the Ladies Climbing Club. They wanted to travel to the Himalayas in Nepal, home of the world's highest and most treacherous mountains. And on that plane there's a speech bubble saying, "Nepal, here we come!" That little bit that I just read started to tell us a little bit of the story about Junko, but I thought it was really interesting because clearly people weren't showing respect to her at that point when she had to set up her own climbing club. Now, in society, we know that women and men are allowed to do things equally, but clearly at that point they didn't think that. And I thought it was interesting to think of our values of treating other people how we want to be treated. People didn't seem to be doing that to Junko, but she carried on going anyway. Okay, I'm going to carry on reading. Junko helped to organise the trip and reached the summit of Annapurna 3 in 1970. They're saying, we did it, ladies! Trek further. In 1975, Junko and the Ladies Climbing Club travelled back to Nepal. They were the first ever female climbing group to attempt to climb the highest peak on Earth, Mount Everest. 37 men had successfully climbed Mount Everest, but many had lost their lives in the attempt. The team faced criticism for leaving their families behind to attempt something so dangerous. And you can see that they're saying, "Everest, here we come. If men can climb Everest, so can we." 600 local porters transported food supplies and equipment to base camp. You can see here she's saying, "I wanted to climb that mountain no matter what other people said." I like her determination, her resilience. The group set up camps as they climbed so they could slowly get used to the lack of oxygen at the high altitudes. Climbing too quickly could have resulted in altitude sickness. Even an avalanche couldn't stop Junko. She climbed higher, help, and higher, crossing terrifying crevasses. And then you can see it says higher still, enduring freezing temperatures day and night. And there she is saying, keep climbing, eek, follow me. So she's really driving her group on. She's showing reciprocity, working with others, but she's also showing fantastic resilience. To the top. After a heart-stopping ascent at 12:30 p.m. on May the 16th, 1975, Junko became the first woman to reach the top of Mount Everest. The expedition took almost 6 months to complete. Junko's incredible achievement made headlines around the world, but it took a while for people to accept that things were changing and a woman could be a housewife, a mother, and a professional mountaineer. And then here's a little speech bubble. It says, this willpower you cannot buy with money or be given by others. It rises from your heart. And that's something that Junko said. Okay, so we've read the story of Junko. I hope you think she's as incredible as I do. Next to me now there's a picture of her when she was actually climbing Mount Everest. We've seen lots of illustrations and we've read about her, but we haven't seen her yet. So here she is. Like I say, I hope you enjoyed the story. Later on in the week we'll find out about another great woman who worked wonders. But what I'd like you to do now is I'd like you to, either with the people you're at home with or with the people in your classrooms and school, I'd like you to talk about Junko and talk about the attributes that she showed and think about how you could be more like Junko in your daily life. I'm going to try and make sure I encourage people, because that's what Junko did with all of her club. She encouraged people who had the same ideas as her, and she didn't listen to people who told her she couldn't do it, which is a really important thing to do as well. Okay, have a lovely day, and I'll see some of you, and I hope to hear some of your responses to this short story. Alright, bye bye.